I started this hardcore world 2.5 years ago, and recently I challenged myself to start over. Either survive again from nothing, or lose the entire world. And not only did I survive, but I did some amazing things along the way. Now it's been 6 months since I've seen where this world started, and since this chapter has come to a close, it's finally time to return home. It's time to say goodbye to the village. I'm finally going home. There it is. There's where I left all my stuff. 6 months ago, I left all my stuff in this obsidian box. And now I'm finally getting it all back. Look at all these goodies. There's my elytra and all my armor. And now for history's sake, let's seal this back up again. And now let's go find this portal. There it is. This is the portal we came through to get here. And now I'm going home. We're actually doing it. It's time to start the long journey home. I actually forgot just how long this ice highway was. It's been like 5 minutes. Oh, there it is. All right, let's not mess around. Let's just get straight back home. And now, after 6 long months, it's finally time to go back to where it all began. I forgot how ugly I left everything. Okay, but since we're back for the first time in such a long time, I think I just want to take a moment to appreciate. Of course it's raining. The second I get back and it starts raining. What I was trying to say is, since it's been such a long time, I wanted to take a moment to look back and remember everything I've done in this world so far. But before we get into that, have you checked to see if you're subscribed recently? You may watch my videos all the time and not even know you aren't subscribed. And if that's you, consider pressing that button. It's completely free and it tells YouTube you like this content. I mean, starting things off, we've got the house, the infamous house. All right, we've got just a bunch of junk in all the chests. I've kept my first set of enchanted diamond armor here, which is kind of cool. But I want to see the good loot. I know I've got some good loot in here. We've got the god rod. This is the infamous house I said I wouldn't live in forever. And then I never built a better house. But moving on, we've got the bees, the bee sanctuary. I built this back when bees were pretty much new in Minecraft, which should give you an idea of how old this world is. And yeah, it was a pretty cool idea. It's a little bit ugly around here. And this was maybe a mistake because this thing ended up glitching out so much. In fact, I think it's glitched out again, because there's no bees in this thing. Then we've got 2 of the most important farms. We've got the iron farm, and then we've got the gunpowder farm. This beauty has done a lot of work for me in this world for, well, for something. The Netherright Beacon, my pride and joy. Oh, I've missed you so much. There is nothing I am more proud of in this world than this Netherright Beacon. I don't know if this is arrogant of me to say, but I was pretty much the first person to do this. At least I was the first person to document it on YouTube. And of course, around it, we've got the diamond beacon, the gold, the emerald, but they're just not as impressive, are they? Let's keep looking at the older stuff. We've got this nice horse stable here, very cute. And we've got WadZee. Oh, what a memory. Back when I used to actually name my animals, but now my horses just get, hello, Dogsy and Jeff. I forgot about Jeff. Jeff and Dogsy have been sitting here for over 2 years now. My name is Jeff. Why don't you guys join me for the rest of this tour? No, but of course down here we've got, yeah, this monstrosity. Nobody call Peter, okay? It's fine. I'm pretty sure I made this gold block house back when I made a gold farm. And then we've just got another random house that I never did anything with. Oh, I think I made this house to go fishing. This was meant to be like my fishing house. All right, now let's head over this hill. I know we've got a few things over here. First of all, we have my rainbow wool farm, which is just super useful. I barely use any of this wool, so I just have an infinite supply. Then behind this is all pretty recent. This wheat, sugarcane, and pumpkin farm. But over here, now we get onto some old things that I did. The cake factory. This was meant to be a factory to make infinite cake, and I don't think I've touched it really since. And we've got the cow in the corner for the milk. The tiniest sugarcane farm, which would produce like nothing. That's a lot of cake though. I'm proud of previous WadZee. Look at that cake on the ceiling. Now this was a fun chapter of this world. I have 100 pandas living in this area. And back at the time, I didn't know that brown pandas were so rare, but yeah, we've got a couple of those guys in here. Looking back on this now, it does seem a little cruel. Now this thing here, I think I remember I did this in one video and that was the whole video. I just dug a hole. And that's why I don't upload as frequently anymore. Imagine if I just did a video digging a hole like this today. I remember I spent so much time around here with all these furnaces and the jungle trees just grinding, smelting stuff. And speaking of smelting things, the original bamboo farm. Oh. Okay, I thought I was healing you. I did not mean to make a baby dog right now. That is... Oh, and here's a fun bit of WadZee history. Over here in this little hut is the villager I healed to get the advancement. I never ended up using you for any trade, so you've just lived here. All right, now I think we should take a look at possibly the worst build I've done. The ugly cat tree, which is, it just looks disgusting. But this is home to my 100 Leos. It is very loud in here. Why do I hear an Enderman? Where are you? There is an Enderman in here. Get out of my cat tree. Now this build is good. I like this build, but if I did it again today, I would probably have to make it much bigger. I don't think it's that impressive, but at the time it was pretty cool. I even put like a ton of effort into like the interior. There's like an upper floor and everything. So this was around the time when I started doing the builds in the world. Before this, I didn't really build all that much. Then I built things like the floating island, which I think is one of, you know, my more underrated things. It's quite cool. It tells a good story with the chains and stuff. I probably could have done a little more with what's on top of this island though, since it's just nothing. Maybe could have put a little house up here or something. Oh, is that what I think it is? But for the moment, we got to stop looking at the builds. We need to take a look at an iconic piece of the history of this world. It's the giant melon farm. I don't remember when I started this melon farm, but it would have had to have been pretty early on. And every episode, I would plant another 200 melons. And I mean, you know what? It's been a while since I've done that. So now that we're back, I think there's only one thing we can do to make this right. We got to plant another 200 melons. And there we have it. Just like the good old days, I've added another 200 melons to the melon farm. And this is the bit where I usually ask you to subscribe. So subscribe. But now going back to looking at builds, I think one of the next builds I did was build this city. Now at the time this was quite ambitious, but I mean it is only 4 buildings. Plus I left every single one of these buildings completely hollow. Okay, but now we go over to this side of the world where we have, I think, my favorite builds I've done. First of all, this Nether Biome in the Overworld. It's absolutely insane. And we're just gonna ignore my face being right there. We'll talk about that later. But I think this is one of my more thought out ideas I did. You know, it's got all 5 Nether biomes. It's got the Nether Fortress in the middle, and it's just like, it looks really cool from a distance. But of course, like most things in this world, it is well, completely hollow. Anyway, we've got the Nether in the Overworld, but right next door we've got the End in the Overworld. And there's a lot of details in this build that, I mean, I'd love to give some attention to. First of all, this little dragon skeleton I did. Also, I think I found where all my bees went. I think we have another bee glitch. Yeah, my sound is gone. It's glitching out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have another bee issue with this world. Okay. Oh, it never ends. That's something I will think about another time. Anyway, back to my end build. We've got this end pillar that's like crumbled and fallen down. And I mean, the elephant in the room, or should I say the dragon in the room? The dragon. One of the most impressive builds I've done. I think I definitely want to do some more builds like this dragon. And of course, we cannot forget about the replica end ship I made. And right behind the end build, we have one of the most ridiculous things I've ever done. It's quite weird looking at this. Like, that is just my face. Why did I make this? I mean, it's pretty awesome. I think this was one of my most creative ideas I've had. When I built this, I did not anticipate how difficult it would actually be and how time consuming it would be. Getting every single pixel correct. Oh, and collecting the blocks. How could I forget collecting the blocks? It was a nightmare. And then we've got this thing over here, the giant fish tank, the home for my 100 super rare blue axolotls. This build has so much detail I didn't even think about. All the coral and everything. And if I remember correctly, I had 2 axolotls. I don't remember what I named them, but I had 2 of these guys, which I named. So now we're gonna search until we find them. There's just too many. Whose idea was it to have this many axolotl? Okay, I'm losing track. Not any of you, apparently. Wait, Berry! That's right, it was Berry and Barry. Hey, Berry. Sorry it's been so long. I'm finally back. I'm drowning. Okay. just had my face staring at me while I sleep. That was creepy. And now we've got the villager marketplace. I almost forgot I built this thing, but we have every single kind of villager scattered around, and it all centers around one tree. This build's a bit of a mess, but I think it's still pretty cool. And I love the idea that no matter what villager I want to trade with, I can come here and I can do whatever trade I need to do. I mean, I had to use the melons for something, right? Then of course, behind the villagers, we have some automatic wheat and carrot farms, and then for some reason, just the most ridiculous sugarcane farm you should ever see. Nobody needs this much sugarcane. The only reason there is to build it this big is because it looks cool. And now I think I've almost looked at everything there is to see in this area. I think I did at this stage forget about the copper golem, but do not worry, I will come back to it. Of course, there's one final farm. I think this was the last thing I built before I left. Yeah, when I last left this, it didn't work, so it probably doesn't work now either, if I'm being honest. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, I don't think this is working. Oh god, the bees. Not the bees. Now down here, I have built my slime farm where I can have unlimited slime balls. We've got a nice little window here into the side of the farm. And this was one of many farms I was missing when I went and started over. I forgot just how many things I had automated for me in this world. All right, and if we can, let's get past all these bees. And past the bees, we then have our Shulker Farm. I was actually amazed at just how easy it is to farm unlimited shulker boxes. And I mean, super worth it. Unfortunately, I didn't have any shulker boxes after I restarted, so I've missed having them. Oh, and this is an important part of WadZee history. This is where I completed the advancement. How did we get here? The hardest advancement in the game. Oh, and weirdly enough, I was looking at it earlier and it hasn't disappeared for me. I still have this advancement, even though they added another effect to the game. A lot of people were saying, oh, they've added darkness to the game. I'm going to have to do it again. But I mean, I'm honestly not going to do it. If they're not going to take the advancement away from me, I'm not going to do it. Now, this is iconic. The drained ocean monument. Can I just say, I have no idea why this video went so viral. I only thought to do it because of Filza. Like, let's be real. But anyway, I drained this entire monument. It took forever. It was such a pain. And then in the next episode, I decorated it like a jungle. And I went all out. There is stone and leaves and vines everywhere. And then to top it off, I turned this whole thing into a guardian farm, where I have unlimited prismarine and crystals in here. Oh, and I just remembered something very important to this world, which was over this way. I gotta fly through my hand. Whoop. Very early on in this world, one of the first things I did was come over to this village here, where I very humanely trapped 100 villagers down here. Yeah, this was the beginning to all the inhumane things I would do in this world. And on the way back, another thing I missed was the Melon Mansion. How could I almost forget about the Melon Mansion? Such an iconic build. Melon Mansion, the home to Melanie. I'm sorry it's been so long, Melanie. Wow, I actually put some effort into this build, you know. Let's just ignore all the rooms I left completely empty. And instead, let's look at all the good interior decorating I did. Got this room. This is very nice. We've got the library. And I have to give some attention to these carpets. Making the carpets a melon design as well. Pretty nice touch, I have to say. So that's the Melon Mansion. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, the Squid Farm. I forgot I made this. Does this thing still work? Oh, it sounds like it's still working. Yeah, no, that's definitely still working. Oh, of course. And I remember I had to completely remove all the water from all this area so the farm could work efficiently. All right, now I want to see the turtles, but I don't actually remember where the turtles are in my world. I can't remember if they're out this way or the complete other direction. I think they're in the other direction. Oh yeah, here we are. Here is the 100 turtles. And at this point, I think I honestly have more than 100 turtles. Yeah, this is too many turtles. Oh no, the poor things. They're trying to escape. Please, it's been years. And now it's time to take a look at everything I did in the Nether. First of all, my Nether base. This thing's pretty cool. But if I was to do it again, I would have to make it so much bigger than this. It is cool though. We've got a Netherwart Farm back here, which I have literally never used because I don't use potions. And one thing I need to do is I need to change all these lanterns to blue lanterns. I only recently found out that the blue lanterns stop piglins from spawning. And sometimes I get hostile mobs spawning in here, which is annoying because this is meant to be like my base base where I'm safe. But now it's time to take a look at what is almost my most popular video on the channel, which is the Overworld in the Nether build. Now from back here, it looks super impressive, but the scale of it it's kind of small, I think. It's not that interesting, and I didn't really do too much in it. This blue glass actually tricks so many people though. So many people thought this was actually water in the Nether, and they thought it was fake. But I am proud of how original this build idea was, and it does look very impressive from a distance. Now there's not too much to see in the Nether since it's, you know, a pretty hard place to build. But here we have a piglin trading station, which I never really decorated all too well. And then I think there's only one other thing in the Nether, unless I'm forgetting something. Oh, but while I'm heading out this way, we should definitely take a quick stop and appreciate the ancient debris mine down here. Many hours of my life was spent blowing all of this up. Now there's a pretty major build out this way. If I can remember how to get there, I think I do. The Wither Skeleton Farm. I spent a long time covering this entire space with slabs, so mobs could not spawn anywhere but in the farm. I have over a stack and a half of wither skeleton skulls here. If I wanted, I could spawn 30 withers. But I do just want to take another quick moment to just appreciate just how much effort it was to make this farm. I don't know if I could ever do it again. Oh, and that reminds me, there is a couple more things to see in the Nether, and the rest is all up here. And up this way is my gold farm. Now this farm is pretty impressive. There's definitely bigger and better gold farms you can have, but this thing does the trick. It spawns quite a few piglins. And then we have the other half of my Shulker Farm. And of course, we don't need to be reminded about the blue ice highway. So now it's time we went and saw the end. What is this mess? Of course, this is when I went and made like 200 cauldrons to get one powdered snow. All right, and down this way and across here should be my end portal. Now we're in the end. We've got this nice cave here with some diamonds. God, what a flex. And we hop out here, and the end is the overworld. When I first did this video, I think it was my first building video for the series, and it kind of changed the kind of videos I made in this series forever. So since it was my first like building thing, I was like way less ambitious with the scale. I feel like if I did this video today, I would have done the entire island. And I have been thinking, I think I want to build more on this end island. And of course, there's one other thing which I have missed so much. Fair warning, this is going to get loud. Oh, and how could I forget the copper golem statue? Now again, this isn't a 100% original build. I did credit my inspiration in the video, and the scale of this thing is actually like crazy. Getting all these coppers took so long, and I'm pretty sure this came, well, yeah, this definitely was before I built the copper farm. This might be one of the best builds I've done. Now that I've taken a moment to look back on everything I've done in this world, you're probably asking, what's next? And to be honest, I was asking myself the same question, which is why I went away for almost 2 months. And the truth is, I'm not done with my new home yet. There's still a major build I am yet to complete, and now I'm more equipped than ever to finish it. See, the main reason I actually wanted to come home was for the elytra and the shulker boxes. These are two things I've missed so much in this world, and I had no way of getting them again without coming home. And now that I have these things again, it's going to make my life so much easier. And also now I've opened up the entire world, so I can go back and forth between my 2 locations as much as I want. The only issue is it takes so long to go between these 2 portals. And so I'm back already, but this time I can fly. And this is my promise that I am going to finish this village. And now that I have shulker boxes again, you best believe it's going to be the return of awesome builds. But there's one other thing I need to address. We are once again in a new update, and that means we have all of 1.19 to explore as well. So that means we've got some new chunks to discover. So make sure to join me next time when I take on 1.19 in hardcore this time.